Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Bette McCarthy. I'm chair of the Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District, and I'd like to welcome you all to this meeting this evening. This meeting for the Old Kings Highway Historic District is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable Government Access Channel. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the chair must inquire whether anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, would they please make their presence known? All right, I assume that nobody else is recording this meeting. So to all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District, under Section 9 of Chapter 470, Acts of 1973, you are hereby notified that a hearing will be held tonight on the applications listed on the agenda for October 9th, 2024. This meeting is held remotely on Zoom. We'd like to remind all applicants and audience members that we are elected volunteer committee, and we follow the guidelines of the Town of Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Act. And any party that's interested, who is aggrieved by the decision of this committee, they have a right to appeal the decision to the Old Kings Highway Regional Historic Commission. We ask that during this evening's proceedings, cell phones be turned off and conversations other than those before the committee take place outside of this remote meeting. When an applicant is called, we ask that the applicant and all interested parties identify themselves. And lastly, as best practices for meetings that are held remotely, we may not be able to visually identify who's speaking. So we ask all committee members and participants to identify themselves before making any motion or comments. Online audience members wishing to participate during the public comment section of the hearing can use the raised hand button to notify the chair. Dial-in audience members wishing to participate during the public comment section of the hearing should press *9 on their phones to notify the chair. All participants will be muted, and you must be recognized by the chair in order to participate. Our first order of business is to take roll call attendance for the committee. So Leslie Wallace.
Here.
Wendy Schuck.
Here.
Brian Caholen.
Here.
And Bette McCarthy. Here. All right. So our first order of business is a continued application. And this is for Susan Clark Livingston of 101 Rendezvous Lane, Barnstable, map 279, parcel 028, built in 1920. And there are two applications for this property. And the first one is to demolish the existing dwelling. So we're going to address that one before we address the new construction. Would the applicant or their representative please speak up about their application to demolish the building?
Hello, committee. This is Kevin Warner from Fine Line Design, representing the owner at 101 Rendezvous. Regarding the continued applications at 101 Rendezvous, the owner wishes to withdraw both applications without prejudice.
All right. So that is your request then to withdraw both applications. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. So in that case, we will need to have a motion to close the public comment section for this item.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
All right,
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
thank you. And a roll call vote. Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. So now we need a motion to accept the withdrawal of the application to demolish the existing dwelling.
Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the application to the motion to withdraw the application to both demolish the, wait a minute, let me ask Erica. Erica, do I do this as one motion or two motions, do you think?
I would separate the two,
two?
since there's two separate applications. Yep, and just do a motion to accept the request to withdraw without prejudice.
Okay, yep. All right, let me hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to accept the motion to withdraw without prejudice the application to demolish the dwelling owned by Susan Clark Livingston, 101 Rendezvous Lane, Barnstable, map 279, parcel 028, built 1920.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
All right. Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. So we have approved the application to remove the demolition of the dwelling. So now we need a motion to accept the application to remove the construction of the new dwelling.
Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the request to withdraw the application for the certificate of appropriateness application, and that's without prejudice, to withdraw without prejudice. The application of Susan Clark Livingston, 101 Rendezvous Lane, Barnstable, map 279, parcel 028, built 1920.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote for that. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. So, all right. Thank you very much then. That application has been
Thank you, committee.
withdrawn without prejudice.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
All right. Our next application for this evening is for Jeffrey Sulyamatso of 17 Sunset Lane, Barnstable, map 301, parcel 017, built in 1950, to renovate the garage into living space and to add a second floor. So we need to open a public hearing for this application.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
All right. Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. So would the applicant or their representative like to discuss the renovation of the garage into living space and adding a second floor?
Yes, this is George Perna, the owner of the property.
This is Erica Brown. George, do you want to give a little? Oh, I am echoing.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Would you like to give a small presentation on what the project is and what you would like to do, please?
Yeah, what we want to do is just renovate the garage, leave the bottom part a storage area, and add a top part, which would be a bathroom and living quarters, two rooms.
I'm sorry, we're not able to hear you right now. All right.
What should I do?
Yeah, he said a few words back. Were you not able to hear him?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, speaking. Okay, what, can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to take the existing garage and add a top part of that to add, there's the garage there. And what we're gonna do is tear down the garage and add a garage on the bottom and the top living area, a bathroom and 2 bedrooms.
Do we want to jump to committee discussion?
All right. Ryan, would you like to talk about this application?
Sure, George, yeah, so you're gonna knock down the existing garage, that's the plan?
Apparently so, because of the zoning doesn't allow me to add a top part of that directly, so they have to tear it down.
Okay, and that's gonna go on I would assume a full foundation?
I didn't hear that. The foundation's gonna stay the same, exactly.
You're gonna build a 2-story structure on top of a slab, is that correct?
No, there's a foundation, the full foundation, and the footing underneath the foundation.
Okay, okay, so that front garage door will no longer be based on your front elevation?
No, there'll be just 2 4-foot doors in place of that garage door.
Okay,
Because we're gonna eliminate the garage door, the people's garage door on the side that's there now. It's gonna be eliminated. The only way to get in the garage is through the front doors.
okay, and based on the elevation drawings, George, it looks like you have, you're residing the whole that whole, I'll call it the main structure, the existing 2-story structure as well?
Yeah, there's a 2 stories is existing, yeah.
All right, so you're gonna be residing that? It looks like it's, some sort of shiplap or,
The cottage was just redone in 2 years ago in a vinyl, uh, granite gray vinyl. And that's, we want to put on the front of the garage and on the side, regular cedar shingles as the rest of the house is.
Okay, so the addition's gonna be vinyl siding,
Just the front.
just the part facing the street.
Yeah.
All right, and the existing shingles, the existing structure are gonna remain, or is that being changed to vinyl as well?
No, that's gonna stay, as it is. There's not gonna be any change to that.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
call that big house.
The drawings just make it confusing, because looking at the design, it looks like it was all gonna change to vinyl.
No,
Um. Yeah, I mean, I'm not wild about the about adding on to the vinyl. Uh. Even though the garage is furthest back from the street. Um. That's a lot of vinyl. In a spot that, typically you don't see a lot of that. I can appreciate what you're trying to do. But yeah, I think that's a lot of vinyl. Probably all I have.
just the front is the vinyl. The match,
You're right, but that's the part that I'm concerned with.
yeah, well, the cottage is already vinyl.
The whole thing.
The whole cottage is vinyl. That is all vinyl there.
That's a shingle, right?
The rest is shingles.
But isn't the cottage a shingle? That's a shingle, isn't it?
Yes,
Looks
it
like
is.
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Vinyl
So you-
shingle.
So are you matching that on the garage?
Yes.
Yes, and on the front.
Oh, okay,
okay. Yeah, I mean, your elevation drawings just don't depict that at all.
right, yeah.
So I think if this was to come to a vote, I would strongly recommend that we articulate as part of the vote, that is with materials to match the existing cottage consisting of a vinyl shingle versus a vinyl, linear type siding. Um,
We're using the exact same thing that we used on the cottage.
yeah, but we just need to make sure that that gets reflected in the vote, because based on the drawings, it doesn't look like that.
it, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Thank you.
Okay, Ryan, thank you. Wendy, what are your comments regarding this?
Yeah, I am a little concerned about the windows because they don't seem to match the other part of the house. I think it looks inconsistent. And also, while it's not apparent in the drawing, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the second floor of the garage overhangs the first floor because the footprint of the second floor is much larger than the first floor. So there's an overhang there. And, I think that I don't think I can make a judgment or, give my full opinion today without getting complete elevations with all the structures here, because we're only getting a part of it. And, that main structure in the middle, with that overhang on the second floor, I think is going to block out a window up on the second floor there. And I think we need full elevations of the building in order, to fully evaluate this
That
project.
is going to become a doorway into the garage on the second floor. So that window that you're talking about is going to be inside the garage.
Right,
And it's
right.
forward.
No, I understand, but we're here to evaluate the exterior of the building, and I think we need to see all the changes because it is one big building. I think we need to see elevations with the revised cottage, with that middle part of the house, so we can see fully what this is going to look like. Here you can't really tell that garage second floor overhangs the first. It's hard to tell, and I think you know, from my perspective, I think I need more. I'm just not comfortable one way or the other without seeing everything put together, because the buildings are, you know, there's like almost like three structures. And the cottage has been renovated. The one in the middle has not. It looks different from the cottage. Now the garage is going to look different yet, you know, from the middle part of the house, maybe from the garage, because the windows are different. And I think we need to see the thing in its entirety really to make an evaluation. I don't think I can vote on it without seeing that.
Okay.
So that's my opinion.
All right. Thank you, Wendy.
Yeah.
Leslie, would you like to comment?
Yep, this is a confusing one. So the original one with the vinyl shingles and the new one, the garage, are gonna be the same.
Correct.
Okay. Now, if you're going to eliminate that window on the middle part, the third, yeah, that one,
Yeah,
is the garage coming out a little bit?
just
Or
enough,
is that the overhang?
it's going to, the top floor is gonna come out just enough to encompass that doorway into the top part of the garage.
Well, to encompass the window, and the
Right.
window will be the,
It will become the entrance door from the
yeah,
hall.
okay, I'm trying to get a visual. Excuse me. I'm not crazy about the vinyl, but the original, the little one, it looks all right. I think I can live with that. But
Actually,
I kind of agree with Wendy in the respect that you don't get the dimensional part of it in your drawings. I would like to see something that would, oh, and if you could do, can you get it back to the middle section again? No, yeah. There's, these windows are different than your little cottage ones, 6/6. Are you gonna do the new garage one, 6/6, to match the original little one? Or what are you
Yes.
gonna do with that?
the garage ones are going to match the cottage one or the
The
original.
cottage, okay, so the cottage and the garage will look very similar.
That is correct.
Okay. I can't get a gist of the garage in the visual of the entire thing. I would like to have just the garage part, more of a dimensional, I guess you'd call it, so you can see kind of, it looks flat up and down. Can you come back with something more detailed?
If that's what we need to do, sure.
Yeah.
So
See,
you want a view of the whole house?
Well, the way it looks now, it's up and down. It doesn't look like there's anything coming out, you know, that would get rid of that window. It just looks straight up and down to me. So I'd like to kind of see it more of a dimensional, how it's gonna look on that end of the house, if you know what I mean. See, if you look at it now, it looks up and down. I don't see any bump out, is what I guess I'm trying to say.
go at the garage. See,
Yeah, I'm talking about the garage.
okay, all right.
I just think if we could see that bump out that you're gonna do that will encompass that third window, you'd get a better feel for it.
Okay, so we'll
Okay.
get more.
Yeah, do you I don't want you to keep going through a lot of expense. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think it's the same thing Wendy was alluding to.
Yeah.
We can elaborate on Current
All
plan
right.
To show you the jet out.
But it's just that we know what products you're using.
Right.
And it's gonna be the same as the little first house.
Correct.
And the windows on this look, well, maybe the upper one, if you could do 6/6, that goes with the original, keep them exactly the same might be good. Yeah, those.
Right.
So the two ends kind of mirror each other. Then you get that thing in the middle.
To make it look like the two of them kind
Yeah.
of.
The two, it would be like two wings. And the two end
Correct.
ones are similar. And then you have the one in the middle. But I think that might look good. I just can't grasp the garage because it doesn't look dimensional to me.
Okay, well, we will work on elaborating with the drawings more and then make another meeting.
Come the next time.
Beth,
Okay,
what do you
Yeah.
think?
and when is the next time?
Well, Bet, what are you gonna say? Maybe you have a better.
Yeah. Well, my remarks are that the windows are all different in the for the three different parts of the home, and it just doesn't look right. And what in the drawing I see, it's 2/2,
Yeah.
and then there's a skinny little window in between. That absolutely is not appropriate at all. It doesn't match anything else on the house.
Well,
So-
our intention is to have the cottage and the garage to match.
Pardon me?
Our intention is to have the original house and the garage to match.
Right.
Right. Then, you know, update your drawings accordingly because we can only go by what we see. You know what I mean? We can only approve what we see in front of us. So whatever you plan, you know, please incorporate into your updated drawings. I'm sorry, Beth, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I pretty much concur with the rest of what the committee has said. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not ready to vote on this renovation or addition until we see a little more detail.
Okay, we will work on that.
I want to understand the detail that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Do you-
And
do you want-
definitely the windows on the second floor
You want them,
are not appropriate.
you want them to look exactly like the little cottage. Is that what you want?
Well, the same style, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I have
The
no-
one on the left, the double window, what about that one?
Right. On the cottage.
That
Yes.
would be great.
If
Right.
that were,
Yep.
Right,
yeah.
we need to do that, and we will show that. I just want to make sure that's all that you want.
And the jet out, right?
Right.
And- You
And
want,
from my perspective, I want to see the whole structure, all of it, not just the garage. I want to see full elevations. Yeah, I want to be able to step back and look and see, oh, the cottage and the garage match, you know,
yeah.
from all sides. We need the entire structure elevations, not just the garage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have another question for you. Are you going to change the siding on the main part of the house?
no,
It's going to be you're going to have part of the building on the left. The cottage has one look. This new addition is going to have a different look, and then that the structure in the middle. It's really going to be. It's going to stand out like a sore thumb. It's not going to blend together very well.
Well, we were planning to have the garage and the cottage to be identical. With the vinyl siding, the same vinyl siding on the both of them that you see from the street will all be vinyl siding. And then the rest of the garage will be the cedar shingles, just like the main part of the house is.
Right. But I think Beth's question was, the middle structure. What are
Right.
your plans for the middle structure? Because
Nothing.
that, yeah, that doesn't, it's
Doesn't
not
get,
cohesive with the other parts of the home.
Well, that may be something that we will deal with later with a different siding, put new siding on it, but right now we are dealing with the garage to match the cottage.
I would suggest that if that is what gets voted on, it might be tough to pass.
Yeah.
So what do you suggest? Are you saying-
You can't make the middle part with the shingles that you're gonna be using on the two sides. So when you look at it from the street, it's more uniform. 'Cause
Correct.
the building in the middle is very oversized with everything. I'm thinking though, with the new garage, it might not look as oversized. But if you're looking at it from the street, it's like a hodgepodge.
Exactly.
Right.
And I don't mean to be mean, darlings. I don't, but I'm just giving you,
Right.
if you want to pass it, this is kind of what you've got to think about.
Right.
Well, we purchased the house as a hodgepodge and we're trying to put it together bit by bit. That's why we did the cottage like we did. Now we're working on the garage and eventually the main house will be able to be recited too, but kind of a big chunk to do it all at once.
Yeah. What about just the front part? Because
Well,
the side's not as obvious. I don't know anything about how much a vinyl shingle is. I'm sure it's not cheap in this day and age.
that's exactly correct.
Yeah, I know it's awful.
Right.
But it would look good. I think it would look more uniform, but
well, maybe it does.
I agree with Leslie. This is Bette McCarthy. And it's our responsibility that these changes are cohesive and they blend well together and they're appropriate. And that's our responsibility. So we don't mean to be difficult, but when changes are requested, we need to make sure that they're appropriate for the neighborhood and they blend in well in our historic district. So,
Well-
would you be willing to continue this application and come back to us in 2 weeks with more information on the addition for the garage and possibly a date line or when you would reshingle the front of the middle part of the dwelling?
I just want to remind the board that you approved this just 2 years ago to put the vinyl on that we just did that. So,
well, we don't mind that. We want it we like that. We want the middle part to look the same, as well as you're gonna do the garage that way. See what I'm saying? If you look at it,
well, you want me
the thing in the middle is gonna stand out. I think, Bet, you said it best, like a sore thumb. Also, I'm looking at this. It's a darling property. And you know what I think would add to it and wouldn't cost a leg and an arm? Some shrubs. No, I think that would give it some character and that wouldn't be all that expensive.
Right, some landscaping.
Yeah.
we had shrub in the front, we took them out because they were overgrown and damaging the roof. We had to put a new roof on.
Yeah, I see the new roof.
So,
Can I make one other request? Next time you're here, can you also include the before and after square footage of the house? I think it's usually included in the application, but I don't think I saw it on there.
yeah, I have no idea. We can figure it out.
Okay.
right. So, would you be agreeable to continue this to our October 23rd meeting and come back to us with updated information?
Well, it's not clear. Is it going to be acceptable to you? I'm telling you now that I cannot afford to redo the whole house in vinyl. It's the only reason why we went to vinyl was at the time the cardboard was so expensive that we couldn't afford that. So we put the vinyl up with your approval. Remember that was a asbestos underneath the vinyl, the shingles that were there. We had to take that off and go all the way back to the wood and redo that with vinyl at the time because the wood was too expensive. Now, I don't see the value in putting vinyl on the front and the side and not put it there. From a street, you still see the wood. So, and I don't think at this point I can afford to.
I think we're only asking for the vinyl shingles on the front. Nobody mentioned anything about the side, or is that part of it? No,
right.
okay. Just the front.
Just yes.
But I know nothing's cheap nowadays. I understand.
But it would all blend together.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it needs, in order to get this approved. So
yeah, I think the tricky part is that the biggest part of the home is the part that has not been renovated, right? And so that is the part that kind of jumps out at everybody. We all agree that what was done to the cottage is lovely. It looks like you're definitely in the right direction with the garage, but standing in the middle of it and most prominently is the largest part of the home, which, has fairly weathered shingles. It has windows that don't match. Now, if you put window inserts in those windows, that might help a little bit. But, our job is to look at these things from the exterior and to make sure that they're cohesive, they fit into the neighborhood, they match the look and the feel of the other homes in the neighborhood, and it's just the big structure in the middle. The biggest part of the home is the part that remains sort of unrenovated, and that's kind of what's challenging for us, just looking at it from the exterior. So that's what makes it tough.
I went by today and looked, and the first thing that did kind of hit me was that building in the middle.
Yeah.
And I was trying to envision the garage, but I didn't get looking at your blueprints, the bump out and, the size, the height of it and all that. It's hard to kind of visualize. You have a lovely property, and, it's a shame. We want it to look, nice, historic, and good in the neighborhood. And I think if you did the windows, even if you just put, as Wendy said, the 6x6 panes, do the same for the garage, and and that's only an insert. I don't think that's all that expensive, of course.
right.
No, but I don't think so. And just in the front, the vinyl siding, and then do your addition. It would be gorgeous.
Yes. All right. Are there any other comments from the committee, or should we, is everyone ready to agree to postpone this?
We, oh, yeah. Were you asking us?
Yeah, is that acceptable to you to continue to the next meeting?
To the 23rd?
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Okay. All right. And that meeting is the scheduled for the 23rd of
Okay.
October.
Okay. Thank you.
So why don't we have a motion then to continue the application?
Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to continue the certificate of appropriateness application for Jeffrey Suimatsu, 17 Sunset Lane, Barnstable, map 301, parcel 017, built 1950, to the October 23rd meeting to be held at 6:30 p.m. remotely.
Brian Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote on that. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So we will reconsider this application at our next meeting. All right. Thank you very much. And we look forward to seeing what you can come up with so that you can be on your road to renovate this property. So thank you very much. Let's see. Those are the only applications that we have for this evening's meeting. We do not have any minor modifications. We don't have any extensions or other. We have the notification for the next election for the Old Kings Highway Committee. And Leslie has prepared for that. So our next item then is the minutes of August 14th, 2024.
I
Yes.
had trouble uploading those. I'm sorry. But the September ones were up there. So if we could have a vote on those.
Okay. The September 11th, September 11th minutes, 2024. So has everyone had an opportunity to review those?
I did not have any changes.
I saw, I think one thing, it said that one of the items would be continued to October 25th instead of September 25th. That was the only thing, just that month. That was the only thing that I noticed. So,
Okay, I can correct that.
good. All right. So, our next meeting date would be
Point of order,
yeah.
Beth.
Yeah,
We
vote,
just need a
right.
vote to accept those minutes, please.
Yeah.
okay.
Motion
All right.
and vote.
Then we need a motion to accept the minutes for September 11th, 2024.
Yep, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to accept the minutes from the September 11th, 2024 meeting with one minor modification to change the date of October, what was it, 25th to September 25th?
Right.
Otherwise as submitted.
Okay.
Brian Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace.
I wasn't at that meeting.
Okay.
So, yep. Should I
All right.
abstain? Yep. Okay.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So thank you for that. And our next meeting would be October 23rd, and the one after that would be November 13th. So we now need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to adjourn today's meeting Wednesday, October 9th, 2024.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. So thank you all very much. We are adjourned.
All right.